when you add a number to 0 and that number keeps its identity?
Zero problem. Zero problem.
When the number keeps its identity. Very good. That's identity problem. Alright? We're going to get over the 0 property plus 6. Oh, are you showing your muscle?
No, your shirt is too big.
Okay, now circle the property multiplication illustrated by 4 times 0 is 0. Anything you multiply by 0 is 0. Now what is this?
Zero problem.
This is the 0 property. When you multiply anything by 0, then the answer is 0. Okay? Yasmin, what do you think when we regroup the numbers? What property is this? Community when you switch around. Are we switching around or we're regrouping? What do we call this when we regroup? Very good. That's associative property. Okay? Donovan, what do we call this property? When you multiply by -1, you get a negative number. Excellent. The property of -1. Okay? Any questions so far? Is this good? Another review? All right. Let's go down. Yesterday, I introduced the distributive property, and we said when we multiply the outside number by the quantity of anything inside the parentheses, you distribute this double. You multiply the outside with every term inside the parentheses. You see how I'm pointing this? Alright. So let's complete the sentences. The teacher, what? Distribute, distribution, or distributive? If I say distribute, that the right grammar? No? This has to have an S, right? But I don't, so basically that's something in the past, right? So the teacher distributed a marked test to each student in the class, okay? In your pocket or in your backpack, because you can't resist it right now. Now, the of test grade shows that there are 12 A's, 10 B's, and 8 C's. The test what? Distribution. Excellent. Okay. And after reviewing the test scores, the teacher will distribute, because after all, you get the simple Any question about these? Okay. Now, so yesterday we talked about how to multiply the outside number by the inside. And it doesn't matter where the outside number is. It is in the front or in the back, right? So here, I would like for you to distribute type this one, the first one. What do you put in each box? Good job, guys. I love this period. Very hard workers. What? All right. So then, what do I place in my first box? Good. What do I place in my second box, Christina? See, 3 is multiplied by every term inside the parentheses. Okay? In this case, we don't need to find the final answer. We just need to be familiar with what the distribution means. Now, if the number was multiplied from the back, it's the same thing. So I'm going to multiply the first number with the outside number and the second number with the outside number. So that's 5 times what? What do I multiply 5 by? 7. And 3 is multiplied by? Good. All right, please fill in the other boxes for the third and fourth questions. So for this one, I will do 9 times 8 and 9 times 2. Okay? Then the last one, the same process, 28 times 4 and 6 times 4. Because I'm multiplying both of them by 4, by the outside. Any question about those? Doing good? Okay. Now, try to do this because I introduced this yesterday. So you have an idea about what to do with distributive property. I would like for you guys to tell me, when I multiply the outside number with the inside, does that mean for this situation, that's 5 times x plus 7 or 5 times the quantity of x and 7? Which one is better? And how do we write the first one and the second one if it's not the first one? I heard somebody said the second. If you say it's not the first one, how do I write the first one then? If it's not like this. Shay, how do I write 5 times x plus 7? 5x what? I don't know. What's this? So what do I do?
5x plus 7.
Very good. That's 5x plus 7. Okay? While this one, 5 times the quantity of x and 7. Now, in this case, when we have an outside number, don't we use the distributive property and multiply it inside? So that means 5x plus 5 times 7. Okay? Which is how much? 5x plus 35. Are these the same expressions? Are they the same? No, one of them plus 7, one of them plus 35. So which one is right for this one? This one is right. 5 times the quantity of x and 7. Okay? When I mean the quantity, that means inside the parentheses. Now, please do the next boxes. Put them on the sheet. Yeah. Okay? So with this one, we just distribute x 5 times x plus 5 times 7, right? We're multiplying the outside with the inside. So the answer is 5x plus, how much? Plus 35. Alright. Now, what's the simplified form of 12 times the quantity of 3 minus 1/6 t? Do I use the distributive property? Can I do this? Since I have an outside number, can I multiply it inside?
Yes.
Yeah. It works with addition and subtraction. So I'm going to do this. So that's 12 times 3 minus 12 times 1/6t. So far, so good. I just multiplied the outside with the inside. Now, we're going to simplify. What's 12 times 3? That's 36. Right. Minus. What's 12 times? Can I write 12, by the way? How do you multiply two fractions? Can I make 12 a fraction? So let's put it over 1. Then what do? How do you multiply fractions? You multiply the tops, you multiply the bottoms. Now 12 times 1 is 12. 1 times 6 is 6, and we have 2. Now, can we simplify 12/6? What's 12 divided by 6? 2. Good. So you do 36 minus 2. Okay. Okay, did you write this down? Any question about how we did this? How do we distribute? How we multiply a whole number by fraction? You put it over 1, then you multiply tops and bottom. Oh. Now, pay attention to this note. A over B is equal to the same thing, 1 over B times A. I can break down the fraction, okay? How? Because if I put A over 1, what's 1 times A? A. What's B times 1? B. Are these the same thing or different things? The same. Okay? Okay, blessings? Now we're going to do the same thing here. So we have this expression, 4x minus 16 over 3, and we want to break it down using the distributive property. So this is how we do it. Remember, this one, A over B, can be written 1 over B times A. So 4x over 3 can be written what? How do we write it as a fraction times a whole? What's my fraction in this case? The what? What's my fraction in this expression, Christina? Do you see a fraction here? Do you see a fraction? How much is it? One what? 1 over? How much? Can you write it like this? Yeah. 1 over 3 times 4x. Because if I multiply these two, I can write this over 1, right? So that is 1 times 4x is 4x. And 3 times 1 is 3. That's the same as what we started with. Right? So we can break down the fraction by taking 1 over the denominator out and keep the rest multiplied by the fraction. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to take, in this case, I want you to try it, guys. Try this. Try this part. What can you take out? Look up here. Any number If you want to keep it the same, what do you multiply it by? By 1. So this is what I'm thinking. If you think about, there is a 1 here, right? And you're going to take 1 over 3 out. So do you understand what I did? How I took the 1/3 out? Because the top part could be written, this top part times 1. So when I write a fraction, it's 1, I take it from the top, and 3, I take it from the bottom. And the parentheses, the remaining. Now I'm going to use the distributive property. So I'm going to do 4 times 1/3 times 4x and 1/3 times 16. Okay? Now, when we multiply a fraction by a whole number, can we do that? How do we change the whole number into a fraction?
Over 1.
Very good. Put it over 1. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this over 1. And I'm going to put this over 1. Okay? What's 1 times 4x? 4x over 3 times 1 is 3. Minus, this is my middle operation, I don't change it. Minus 1 times 16 is 16 over, what's 3 times 1? Okay. Do you see anything between the tops and bottom, 16 and 3 or 4 and 3? There's nothing, there's no common factor, right? So we can leave like that. Is this complicated when you multiply, when you break down the fraction, or you multiply the outside with the inside, if the inside was a fraction? We just need to be familiar on how to multiply fractions, how to multiply a whole by a fraction. Okay. This is important. Pay attention, please. I say negative a plus 5. Look at this example. Pay attention. It's not only in your sheet. Just pay attention, please. Am I subtracting here? Usually I say when we have parentheses, we're multiplying, right? The outside with the inside. But I don't see any number. What number is that? What number is that?
1.
1. That's 1? It's not 1. It's negative 1. Good. That is a negative 1 times negative 1 times a plus 5. Now, now, can I use the distribution property, multiplying the outside with the inside? Okay. What's negative 1 times a? What's negative 1 times a? Negative 1, a. My middle sign is plus. What's negative 1 times 5? Negative 5. Okay. Do I need to write negative 1a, or I just can write negative a? Do I need to put this one? I can write negative a plus negative 5. That means negative 1a. Okay? Now, let's go here. What is the simplified form of negative a plus 5? Okay? What do you think? A plus 5, both of the inside were what? Positive or negative? After I multiply them by negative 1, both of them are what now?
Negative.
Negative. So when you multiply by negative 1, you get the opposite of the number. If the number is positive, the opposite is negative. If the number is negative, the opposite is positive. I don't know, because I did it the first period, so I forgot. That was the example.
Also, can you give us time to write it? I was listening, I just said.
I know. So. Yes, please. Huh? Oh, you should have done this. Sorry. You know what? I mean, me. This. So it's clean, the inside. I do bounce. All right. So a negative sign in front of the parentheses means that the entire expression inside the parentheses is the same or the opposite. When you multiply by negative one number, by negative one, what happens to the inside the parentheses? It turns to the same or the opposite? The opposite. Select. Okay? So I want you to do this, guys. I want you to simplify this, just the way I did. I want you to fill in these boxes in. So when you have negative A outside the parentheses, negative outside the parentheses, that means it's negative 1. Okay? Okay, let's see, guys. Some of you, I don't know, even my previous period, they were confused about this. So basically, what I did, that's negative how much? Negative 1 times A plus 5. Because there's no number, so I assume it's a 1. And don't forget the sign. Then I'm going to distribute this negative 1 to the quantity of A plus 5. That's negative 1 times A plus negative 1 times 5. Okay? Is that clear, guys? How I'm multiplying the negative 1 from outside to the inside? Now I'm going to simplify it. Negative 1 times A is negative 1A or negative A plus negative 5. Okay? Is that clear, or are you still confused with that? Community service? Did you write this down? All right. Now, let's look at this question. So they said, Julia, she commutes to work on the train. What do I mean commutes? She commutes to work. What does that mean? She what? Then? She goes, she travels, she commutes. Okay? So 4 times each week. A round trip. What do I mean round trip? Go.
There.
Oh, so she goes to her work and comes back how many times? 4 times a week. So she works 4 days. Okay? Now, the ticket cost her for a day, every day, it costs her $7.25 for round trip because she's going and coming back. So she pays $7.25 every day just for tickets. All right? What is her weekly cost for tickets? And I know how many times she goes to her job every week.
4 times.
4 times. So if she goes to her job 4 times a week and every day she pays $7.25, how much does she pay per week? What do? We say if she pays $7.25 every day and she goes for 4 days, what do I do? How much does she pay for these 4 days or for these days? Yeah. Okay, let me give you an easy example. You go to your job and come back every day you pay $1. If you go to your job and come back for 4 days, how much money do you pay? $4. What did you do? You either add 1 and 1 and 1 and 1, right? Or you multiply 1 times 4. So the same thing. She goes 4 times. Every time she doesn't pay $1, she pays $7.25. So what do I do with this amount? $7.25. You multiply it by 4. So $4, and that's what they did. Now, I know how to multiply 4 times 7. I know if I multiply by 25 cents, it's a quarter. I know how to multiply by. But if it's $7.25 multiplied by 4, it's kind of hard for me to figure it out. So I'm going to break down this number and make it $7.25. Okay? Did you see what I did here? So I just broke down this number. Now I'm going to multiply. I'm going to use the distributive property. I'm going to multiply the outside number by the inside. Okay? So it's 4 times 7 plus 4 times 25 cents, or 0.25. Okay? Now, if you multiply 4 times 7, how many dollars is that? That's 28 plus 4 quarters. How much? $1. So my answer is, how much does she pay per week? $29. Okay? So the weekly cost for her tickets is $29. Any question? Now, remember, yesterday we talked about terms, combining like terms, coefficient. What do I mean term? A term is what? This could be a number, could be a variable, the product of a number and variable, or the quotient between the number and variable. Okay? And what do I mean like terms? Terms are what? They are like. They have the same variable raised to the same power. Okay? And we talked about the coefficient. We said the coefficient is the number in front of the variable. We called it the coefficient. So let's go back to these vocabs. A term is a number, a variable, a number just like 5, a variable, let's say x, or the product of a number and one or more variable, let's say 2x, or the quotient between a number and variable, let's say 5 over y. Those are terms. We call them terms. Okay? Now, like terms, we talked about this yesterday. If I have 5k and 6k, are these like terms or unlike? Gustavo? Are these like terms or unlike terms? Why? They have both k. And what else? K to what power here? 1. Very good. Both of them have the same variable raised to the same power. So they are like terms. Can we combine them? Can we add them or subtract them? Yes. Okay. Now, circle the variable factors in each expression. Then circle yes if they are like terms, or no if they are not like terms. What do you think? Let's look at the variable. This is x squared and this is x squared. Are these like terms or unlike? Yes. You can see them very well. Right? Now, c squared w minus z w squared. Like terms or unlike? No, unlike. Because c is z to the second, whereas this z to the first. That's no. All right. What is the simplified form of 3y minus y? What's the coefficient for y? What number in front of y? 1. So what's the 3 minus 1? So what's my answer? What's the simplified? That's 2 what? 2y. The answer is 2y. Good job. Are the terms 3y and negative y like terms? Are these like terms? Yes or no?
Yes.
This one has y to the first power. This one has y to the first power. So it's yes. They are like terms. They have the same variable raised to the same power. Okay? Now we're going to use the distributive property. What do they have in common? This one, first term and second term. Both of them have what?
One.
Y in common. So can I take this y out? Can I do this? Yeah, I can. Okay. So I'm going to take the y out. If I took the y from this term, it's going to be how much? If I took the y out, it's going to be how much? What do I have left?
Negative.
3 minus. If I took the y out of here, it's going to be how much? Excellent. I expected you to say a 0. It's not a 0. It's a 1. Excellent. Because my coefficient is 1. Okay? Now, y is out. What's the 3 minus 1? 2. Usually, when do we write the coefficient? After the variable or in front of the variable? So that is 2y. Okay? You're so pretty for that. I expect somebody did this. I would expect a tough person, but not you, Christina. All right. Now, lesson check. How many more minutes do we have? See, okay. Is each expression simplified form? In simplified form, justify your answer. What do I mean justify? Oh my gosh, I love you guys. Explain. Give me that. Why do you think this? Explain it to me, step by step. Give me the reason. Okay. All right. Let's see. So what do you think? Is this simplified or we need to simplify it? We can combine like terms for the first expression. Can you combine these two terms? Are they like terms or unlike? Unlike. One of them x to the first, one of them. So those, they are simplified already. We can't simplify them more. What about this one? This is negative what?
Negative 1.
Excellent. That's negative 1 times y minus 1. So when we use the distributive property, we're going to multiply. Negative 1 times y is negative y. What's negative times negative? Positive what? What's 1 times 1? 1. 1 times 1 is 1. All right. What about the next one? Let's see if we have anything, any like terms. The first one is x to the second power. The second one is xy and yx. Which ones are like terms? Do we have any like term with x squared? No. What about xy and yx? Are these like terms?
No.
Yes. We don't care if we switch around. It's multiplication, commutative property. It can work, right? Works right. So I'm going to put 5x squared by itself. There is no sisters or brothers with it. Now, 12xy minus 3xy. It's just like 12 markers minus 3 markers. How many markers do you have? What's 12 minus 3?
9.
9. Positive or negative? 5 with xy or yx, it doesn't matter. It's the same. Okay? Alright. So does this and this have any like terms? What do you think? I want you to fill in these boxes now because I already did the word verbally with you guys.
No.
Alright. No. What about this one?
Yes.
Yes. How much? What do we distribute? Is it 1? Negative 1. Okay? Now, written as 3xy. What can the last term of this be written as 3xy? Can we switch around?
Yes.
Is this expression simplified?
No.
Can we simplify it more?
No.
No or yes?
No.
Yeah, so it's simplified. I can simplify it more. This is the simplest form. Let's simplify the expression here. That's negative y. Okay, negative times negative is positive. 1 times 1 is 1. When we simplify this one, we got 5x squared plus 9yx plus 9xy. Doesn't matter. This is the last one?
Yes.
Okay. Check up the vocabulary words that you understand. Do you understand what distributive property means?
Yes.
What do I mean term? Term is a number, a variable, the product of a number and variable, the quotient of a number and variable. Do I know what my terms mean? They have the same variable raised to the same power. So what do you rate yourself from 0 to 10?
Wait, are you gonna get this?
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm gonna give you these sheets to do at home because the quiz is on Monday. The quiz is on Monday. So this is a review and it's way easier than what we took in class. Way easier. Don't lose them. Don't lose these sheets. Do that and bring them to me on Monday because I'm gonna grade them. Okay? No, this is already done. Hey, I want you to turn in